You are 29 years old. You do not have a trust. You do not have a family office. You do not have a grandfather who established anything in 1971. You have $43,000 in a checking account, $18,000 in a 401k, and a salary that feels significant until you calculate what it leaves after rent, taxes, and the monthly obligations you accumulated in your 20s. You have no inheritance coming. You are starting from zero. And you are going to build, deliberately, systematically, over the next 25 years, the same financial architecture that inherited wealth families pay professionals to maintain. You just have to start where you are. Level 1. The foundation. Net worth. $0 to $100,000. Before investment strategy, before tax optimization, before asset allocation, you need a financial balance sheet. Not the one the bank provides. A real one. Total assets, liquid, checking, savings, money market, semi-liquid, taxable brokerage accounts, illiquid, retirement accounts, real property equity, business equity. Total liabilities, short-term, credit card balances, student loans under 5 years, long-term, mortgage, student loans over 5 years. Net worth equals assets minus liabilities. Your first allocation decision is not where to invest. It is how to position your balance sheet. You maintain a liquid emergency reserve of 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in a high-yield savings account currently yielding 4.8%, the first time in a decade that a risk-free liquid account has offered a meaningful real return. You eliminate all high-interest consumer debt above 7%. This is a guaranteed risk-free return equal to the interest rate you eliminate. The tax-advantaged accounts are maximized first. $23,000 to a 401k if available, $7,000 to a Roth IRA. These decisions compound for 30 years. They are not glamorous. They are the infrastructure. The tax-advantaged contribution you did not make at 29 does not just cost you the missed return for 1 year. It costs you 35 years of compounding on that capital. At 7% annualized, $7,000 invested at 29 becomes $71,000 by 64. The $7,000 you spent on something that depreciated. It is worth $7,000 at 64. The gap is $64,000. That is the real cost of not starting. Level 2. The investor. Net worth. $100,000 to $500,000. Your taxable brokerage account has grown to $150,000 through consistent contributions and market appreciation. You have moved beyond index ETFs, not because they are wrong, but because you are ready to add tax efficiency. You implement a direct indexing strategy through your brokerage's separate managed account platform. You own the underlying S&P 500 stocks directly, which allows you to harvest individual tax losses while maintaining the overall market exposure. Your asset allocation is built on the 3-factor model extended to 5 factors: market beta, size premium, value premium, profitability premium, and investment premium. Academic research spanning 90 years of global equity data demonstrates that these factors deliver excess returns over the market cap-weighted index over long periods, with the caveat that they can underperform for extended stretches, sometimes a decade, requiring patience that most investors do not have. You are building a factor-tilted portfolio that you are prepared to hold through a decade of underperformance if necessary. That patience is the investment. At $250,000 in net worth, a specific legal structure becomes available to you that simultaneously reduces your current income tax liability, builds a tax-advantaged investment account, and creates a business entity that has access to investment vehicles unavailable to individual investors. Most people at this level have never heard of it. It involves a change in how you report your investment activity to the IRS, and it is entirely legal. Building this from zero requires understanding every level of the system that inherited wealth families take for granted. This channel breaks down every one of those levels. Subscribe, like the video, and keep watching. We're about to get into the structures that most financial advisors will never proactively show you, because their business model depends on you not having them. Level 3. The Optimizer. Net worth. $500,000 to $2 million. You establish a limited liability company for your investment activities. Your attorney structures it as a single-member LLC taxed as a disregarded entity. Within the LLC, you open an investment account that provides access to institutional share classes, The same underlying funds available to your personal brokerage, but with expense ratios 30 to 50% lower because the minimum investment thresholds are higher than retail platforms require. You implement a Roth conversion ladder, systematically converting pre-tax retirement assets to Roth during years when your taxable income is lower, paying the conversion tax now at a lower rate to avoid a higher rate in retirement when required minimum distributions and Social Security income stack unfavorably. You establish a solo 401k through your LLC that allows a $66,000 annual contribution, a multiple of the standard employee 401k limit, by combining the employee contribution with a profit-sharing contribution as the plan's employer. Your accountant files the appropriate elections. Your tax return looks different from your neighbor's. Your long-term wealth position will too. Level 4. The Multi-Asset Allocator. Net worth, $2 million to $10 million. You now have access to private markets. Not through a feeder fund with additional fees layered on top, directly, as a qualified purchaser, which the SEC defines as an individual or family with $5 million or more in investments. Qualified purchaser status opens private fund access that is unavailable to the mere accredited investor category, $1 million net worth. The top quartile private equity and private credit funds require qualified purchaser status. The distinction is meaningful. You allocate 20% of investable assets to private credit, direct lending funds providing senior secured loans to middle market companies at SOFR plus 600 to 700 basis points, with quarterly distributions and a 3 to 5 year fund life. The illiquidity premium over public investment grade credit is approximately 200 to 300 basis points, real, persistent, and available to those with the balance sheet liquidity to not need the capital during the fund's hold period. You also make your first private equity commitment, a $500,000 LP position in a middle market buyout fund targeting 2.0 to 2.5x net ROIC. The J-curve means negative returns in years 1 and 2 as capital is called and not yet returned. You understand this before you sign. That understanding is what separates a sophisticated investor from a disappointed one. Level 5. The Family Office. Net worth, $10 million plus. At $10 million in investable assets, you make the decision that defines the next chapter. You hire your first dedicated investment professional, not a financial advisor who serves 200 clients, a dedicated investment professional who serves one, you. The salary is $180,000 to $220,000. The mandate: implement and monitor the investment policy statement, manage the alternative investment calendar of capital calls and distributions, coordinate with your tax advisors on harvesting and realization decisions, and produce quarterly performance attribution reports that hold every allocation accountable. You are now operating a single family office, nascent, simple, but structurally identical in purpose to the $340 million institution you watched from the outside at the beginning of this series. The documents are in place. The governance structure is written, if not yet tested. Your children are young. They do not know the words investment policy statement or irrevocable trust. They will. One meeting at a time. One document at a time. One signature at a time. You are the founder. And founders always start from zero. Building from zero is the hardest version. But there is a moment, a single event, that collapses the 25-year timeline into a Thursday afternoon. A liquidity event. A company sale. An IPO. And the 72 hours that follow that event are the most consequential financial hours of your life. Most people enter them unprepared. Most people make at least one decision in that 72-hour window that costs them more than they realize until years later. That is the next video.